All right, let's call this in order. We'll call
Tammy Bowman.
Ted Julian.
George Harris.
Greg Gamble.
Sandy Butler.
Bob Harris.
All right, we do have a quorum. Everybody's had a chance to read the minutes.
Yes.
Awesome. Do we have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, on to old business.
Alrighty, so everyone signed what we needed to on the rules, so those will now be put on the website. So the next thing we have is reviewing the preservation design guidelines. If everyone's had a couple, sessions now to look at that. If we're ready for adoption, we can go ahead and vote on it, or if there's things you'd like to review, any edits before we vote it in. Anything like that, but I know we've been steadily working on editing that document for quite some time. And I think it's pretty solid. If we do find there's things not working, it's just like the UDO where we can amend as necessary or as new best practices become available. And this is the only board that it has to go through. It doesn't have to go through town council or anything like that. So if we're ready to adopt it, we can do a vote.
right.
Just like the meeting minutes, or if we have questions, happy to answer anything on that.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt it as written.
We have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Done deal. Awesome.
Yay!
Cool. That was a lot of work, Hannah. and
I
Thank you very
know.
much. It was
Good job.
Thank
a really
you.
good job on it.
Thank
Very
you.
I have a question about
Sure.
this though. What is the process for an amendment?
It would be proposed by either staff or a member of the board. You would discuss it, and then you would approve the amendment to the design guideline.
What sort of notice needs to be done for any amendments?
Just same as what we do for a meeting.
Okay.
Just a regular meeting.
Thanks.
All right, next we have a COA for a sign for the gas station. We had previously approved a couple of signs for Amoco a couple of months ago. They'd now like to have a second gas price sign on the west northwest, that side C there, as you can see. There was previously nothing approved for it. They were just improving the canopy aesthetic wise. So I checked through the proposed sign, and it does fit all of the sign requirements for downtown business. So if you have any questions, John Benjamin is here to represent the petitioner.
Does it overlap the sign? Is it wider? Is it-
It would fit within the facade, so it doesn't hang above or below.
And it's northwest, so it's actually facing the front doors.
Facing the building, kind of, yeah, it's a
It's
weird.
at a weird
layout,
angle,
yeah.
yeah, but you can see it if you were to be driving eastbound on State
Yeah.
Street, you can see that sign area.
Okay,
This will be in addition to the current
Yeah.
sign that's down on the ground.
So the monument itself, going from the other way, you can see there's good visuals there, but it's got a complete obstruction from the other direction. So that's where the owner was hoping we could do something better.
so that's only like 2.5 feet high, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's pretty small.
Yeah, it fits
See,
into
it's
the
fits
canopy,
within the-
Got it,
the
okay.
canopy face.
That's what I was concerned about.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And if you walk by there, all of the other signs are already installed, and they're all flush with the gas canopy as well.
So is this a recommendation or just we need to vote on this?
You would vote on the COA.
Okay, all
whether
right,
To approve or deny.
all right. Anybody any questions?
I think it's a good place for a sign.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too intrusive.
So we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept it as presented.
A second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, done.
I do have a footnote to this.
Me too. Can they
This
still
type
last it?
of filling station sign setup with a canopy like that was originally used and designed by a Pendleton native named Walter Dorman Teague.
Oh, that's right.
And he did all of the Texaco stations starting sometime in the 1930s. And that's where this horizontal filling station thing came into play.
That's really cool. That's why you're here.
Right.
That's awesome.
Bob is our
It's really
story.
cool.
He's not my grandfather.
They're over at the museum, there's a whole display on him too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Really?
If we go down the street to Carnegie Library, there's a Indiana State Historical Marker to Walter Dorman Teague. And it mentions some things about him as well.
Really cool.
Yeah, ask the owner to kill all the weeds around the place.
Oh, on the,
That would be,
on the east side, there's a little chimney, something that comes up or a vent. And the vent on top of it's sitting like this. One of our winds may have moved the vent from the side of the station.
I can let them know. I'll be in contact with them, so.
You might take a look at it, it's on a picture, because it's
It's gonna fall. It's fall.
been there for a couple months. like that, but I mixed up my weed killer while we go.
I'll just walk across the street.
there you go.
He'll come back in 2 days and I'll be gone. I may just do that.
I'll get you your COA. Have you applied for your sign permit or did you just apply for the COA?
It's just, we'll see where. it is. So I think that's the way to do it.
We can just transfer it. Okay, and then the last couple things that we have, Dr. Mao was in here a couple weeks ago at our originally scheduled meeting and gave an update on the building. He is working with a contractor, Elite Trades. And I sent him the original COA and grant application that was approved by this board. I think they might amend it slightly, but the money paid out will still be the same because it maxed out the limit, even though what Dr. Lau might be spending might for now. And I think there might be some discussion on the type of windows. So this is what our new contractor gave us. I don't know if I have a copy for
I have
everyone.
one at home.
Oh,
That's okay.
this is all we have.
Sure, this is- Nice price tag.
And there was some discussion on the window openings from the original facade grant. That I didn't put in the G drive, the original application, but he does have someone working on it. I know what we were kind of looking for last time was just where are you at with it? What's your timeline? So I think for July, I'll reach out to him and have him come in with this is what I'm doing or what I need to update if he's going for a different brand window or a different style. And the board needs to establish a timeline for him to begin using the funds.
Yes.
Because it's been 2 years next week and there's been no movement. I know that we've been flexible because of COVID and contractors. But at this point, technically the board can request the funds back if they don't see any movement within that allotted time frame. So that's what we'll be discussing next month.
We've been more than lenient time wise.
Can you send that information, the original information of what he?
Yeah, I sent it to you just an hour ago, but I'll
Okay.
send it out to everyone else.
Thank you.
Was the original windows wood? Is that what the amendment would be? Going to aluminum window? Is that what he's? I don't remember
I don't-
having aluminum.
I
think
don't-
it was aluminum.
Yeah, I think it was. I can't, it was so long ago. I
I
can't
know.
recall.
What he was talking about was an awning window and I think it's here last month and that's not acceptable.
An awning window, that kind that has their own.
Right here.
Oh, we don't want, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I
So
won't
I'll
want that one.
send out what the original facade application is for. I also know that we've passed the limit on how good COAs are eligible for. They are now, this was, I think, in 21. They're only eligible for 24 months before they have to go back before the board for permission.
Right.
However, I don't know if his application was approved before or after that ordinance was put in. So take that as well. I don't know if it applies here. It might because the grant itself is tied to the COA
Yeah, I
and
was
the grant is a
thinking, yes.
1 year limit.
Yeah.
So I think that helps if this wasn't grant associated,
So
it might
we'll
not.
put over additional windows here.
Yeah, just look at that and just tell us what you think. And he's talking about. That's what
No. Special.
So when I'm looking at this, the four additional windows are just the inside of the outside windows there.
They correct-
It's 4 additional windows going in, so a total of 10.
Yeah.
It should be, yeah, there's
Yeah.
5 on top, 5 on bottom.
Okay, yeah, I see what I see what the imprint is.
Yeah. And the contractor was talking about the brick, and Bob, you might be able to remember this better than I do, but the brick and stucco work needed around the windows to remove, additional space, because those windows obviously do not fit the original openings. So removing the stucco and anything behind it that's filled in those arches or the larger windows. He was saying there might be some issues with that. I don't really remember him saying that, and that it might look funny having some exposed brick and then the stucco. And we kind of told him it's a step in the right direction. You don't have to remove all the stucco right now. So if it does look a little broken up around here, that's fine, as long as it's not gonna fall off in chunks and hit people.
That's called patina. It's the only word I had.
Yeah, so, because I know that wasn't a concern when you authorized the grant, because we knew it was just a first step. It's not trying to completely remove all the stucco, but right now that would be really expensive. So in pieces is fine.
I agree. Any news on any additional facade money from the?
No, but the HPF grant from Steve Kennedy, he sent that out a few days ago. We can see if we're eligible for anything with that. Carrie's actually our grant administrator, so we'll be working together on that, see if we can get any monies. I know that as far as the brick and mortar repair part of that grant, the building has to be on the National Register. So I don't know if that means the whole district we have here for National Register, or it has to be like a landmark National
It
Register.
does not have to be.
It does not.
It's in this district, and so it automatically qualifies.
Okay. And the levels of the brick and mortar are like immediate. So like if a historical building is falling apart and for like safety reasons, that's where they dole out most of the money for that part. The secondary is heavier maintenance, so things that need to be addressed but aren't necessarily a safety issue. And then the third is interiors and regular building maintenance, I guess you could call it. So there are some levels, and I think we could qualify for some of those. And I think their max is 50 or 60. Or if we're a CLG, it's 60-40 split, but I think the max they allot out is something like that.
I think it's like 75.
Is it 75? Okay, yeah. So we can definitely look and see if we can move on. I think I have an idea of a building
Yeah.
to use those funds for.
Just write down.
So, the other thing I've got for you is Sandy purchased the Historic District Action Guidebook from the seminar you attended, was that 2 months ago now? Almost? I don't remember.
What is time?
So Sandy, I don't know if you've gotten around to reading parts
I
of
have
that.
not read it yet.
Yeah.
In fact, Helen Resky has it right now.
Yeah,
So
if,
she's
when
good.
you get to that, if you have any good points or bullet points or want to do kind of a presentation of that, we'd
Okay.
like to hear it.
I can do that.
And then we have the NAPC virtual short course tomorrow. I know a few people have said they can come here if you want to come to town hall. What time it's at? I think it's 1
o'clock.
1 o'clock. And that's kind of a secondary to the first one we had. It's all a theme, and then they just have different speakers. In August, however, they do have one, the 23rd, 24th. That one's virtual too. It's a multi-session webinar, so it's got a list of topics that are going on all at once, and you can log into which one you want to view. That one has to be done. There's no group sign up for that, so you do have to do it on your own, at your own computer with your own login. But I can sign you up if you want me to. That way we can put it under the town's membership.
What's the date? again?
That's
23rd?
August 23rd and
So
24th.
so Wednesday, Thursday.
So I can send out more info on that, but the closest one we have is on Thursday. That's all I've got.
That's it.
Thank
If there's anything you guys have for me or questions?
I do have a question.
Sure.
I didn't get a chance to talk to Missy earlier. She was at a meeting. The Wednesday, if I'm taking the original facade off, it's something that I think might be an item that can be considered by the Historic Preservation Commission before something like that would be allowed.
Do you want me to reach out to them and have them come in July and talk to us?
It might be an idea to get an update on what their plan is, because I know what they'd agreed to, and that's not exactly what's happening.
They've taken off all the siding on the front facade,
Everything is removed.
including the transits.
Everything is removed.
Is it being repaired? And put
These are
back?
questions that we need to address.
And I haven't had any updates from John Oliver on the Hayden building, but I know he's been working pretty consistently.
Is it mostly structural stuff he's working on? That's what I figured.
I thought he was slated to come next month and give an update.
John Oliver?
I don't know, maybe I just dreamed that. I thought that was in some.
I can certainly ask him, or I can, if he can't show up, he can give me an update. I can definitely relay.
That'd be nice.
I thought that was in an email from the town.
I do not know.
And do we have a little space where we can have a library if we wanted to let somebody book in a library? Is that possible back there?
You go to,
Back there. They're coming up.
You think that's possible?
What book are you referring
Hannah Rose mentioned Sandy bought a
to?
book,
Oh, yes.
and so perhaps Sandy could be reimbursed with the book if we go into our library.
That's all they take care of.
Yeah, that's all the, yeah, the town.
Very far.
Town's been good to Sandy Papa.
We could put it somewhere anybody can access it, sure.
That'd be nice. We need to have a checkout system with it too.
Sure,
It's right in the middle.
we can figure something out.
Well, the boys-
Maybe it could be at the museum.
No, it won't get right. You guys have been to the museum.
I think there's an office upstairs that's gonna be used for that.
Ah, yeah. we can do that.
It's good.
But we're supposed to look at that for the historic design for the Keystone area.
Yeah.
That's what that book was bought for.
Right.
Started that.
Okay, anything else, guys?
Is that it?
We check online, we don't have any, no, just Jeff.
So any questions or concerns?
Yeah, Tim was wanting to stay here until 6:30,
Yeah,
so I don't know if we need to extend this. or something.
I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to roll.
all right.
Okay.
So we have a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn.
I second it.
All in favor?
Civil second.
Okay, nays, sorry, but,
You
um,
can stay, right?